First off, Kirsten, I got a bone to pick with one of our media people, Eric Vasquez. So I want everyone to know this. Eric Vasquez, one of our guys, I love him. We were at a great reception last night with the Dodgers, our team and family. And I'm at the bar, and Eric Vasquez orders a Macallan 18, which is a high-end Scotch whiskey. And he also added ginger ale to that drink. So that is definitely a no-no. So I don't know, word on the street. So all right, so I just had to share that inside dope from the Dodgers. All right, guys, sorry, Kirsten.
It's all good. With just the plan for today, we know that you have Michael Grove getting the start, but how do you see just kind of starter, bullpen kind of playing out for today's game?
So Michael's going to start. Michael Grove will start. The plan is for him to go 2 innings. And then we plan on running through our relievers, Brazier, Hudson, Vesia, Phillips, and Kyle Hurt will throw 1 to 2 innings. So I think that's, then we've got some other backups. But then it'll be a bullpen day, and then tomorrow Bobby Miller is going to start and go 4 to 5 innings, followed by Gavin Stone tomorrow.
For the position player side, is it going to be similar to Cactus League? How many at-bats? What's the plan for those guys?
So, off the top of my head, you guys have seen the starting lineup. Today, Jason, Freddie will play 9. Gavin will play 9. Gavin Lux at second base will play 9. And then the other guys will split time. And Shohei will take 2 at-bats today. So, you know, some guys have to play 9 innings because of how many guys we've brought to South Korea. And then the other guys will kind of piggyback. And the next day, I think Outman, then tomorrow, 3 guys will play 9 innings as well.
Fabian?
Yeah, Dave, with Grove only going 2 innings today, is that sort of a sign for how you guys plan on using him going forward?
I think so. I think so. I mean, you know, Michael, to be able to go 1 inning, 2 innings, 3 innings, to be sort of a bridge guy right now makes a lot of sense given, you know, the construction of our pitching.
Is he an option for the Major League bullpen then to start the season if he's not going to be stretched out as a starter?
Yeah, he is. He is certainly a viable option for the pen for us to start the season. Yeah.
Next question, down here in the front one.
So what does that mean for Gavin Stone then? Like, is he the Major League starter, like, for you guys coming out of break?
Well, I mean, obviously we've got Gavin built up to 4 innings, potentially 5. So, you know, if it goes well, then yeah, I mean, we could see him in that 5th spot, 4th or 5th spot.
Bill?
And with Grove, we talked about this a little bit in spring and his splits. As a reliever, it would seem like you can tolerate that a little more, but do you think he has evened things out? Is he going to be more effective against lefties going forward?
I think that's fair. I think he has improved it, but I think, yeah, he's not with the cut fastball and the curveball usage. So he's certainly better than he was a year ago. And you know, for Michael, the challenge is to continue to prove that you know, he's more neutral and not just a right-handed killer. So you know, he'll get those opportunities, but you know, that kind of sweet spot of 2 to 3 innings and finding a lane for him, you know, certainly has shown a lot of value for us.
And what do you see the improvements that Stone has made to the point where he could be your 5th starter?
I think with Gavin, a lot of our young pitchers, just kind of sharpening up the command, and I use that word a lot because it's important. For Gavin Stone in particular, the low dart, the fastball down at the knees, the changeup off of that, the cutter to the lefty. I just think for me, there's just a lot less arm side misses, and he's been able to repeat his delivery. So for me, that shows a lot of growth for him.
Jack?
Obviously, the pitching staff last year had a lot of highs and lows over the course of the year. Just kind of how do you feel about the group right now as a whole on the mound, and how much of a strength that could be for you guys?
I feel very confident in our pitching staff. I think that the first half was considerably different than the second half. We were much better as a staff preventing runs in the second half. Some of it was self-inflicted as far as not being able to control the running game, pitchers not performing, the defense was shoddy at times. In the second half, it all sort of came together and we performed. So this year, with Tyler and Yoshinobu and, we got the other guys coming, Bueller and Kershaw coming, but Bobby Miller, I think he took a lot of strides. I think James Paxton is going to be big for us. And then the pen. There's a lot of veteran guys in the pen. So very confident where we're at as far as the staff.
And then with these two games, do you think they're going to feel like exhibitions? Do you think they're going to be more intense? Kind of what are you expecting these next couple of days?
I think they're going to be intense. I think certainly with the pitching and running out different relievers tonight, or today, and then the position players sort of piggybacking and kind of mixing and matching is one part of it. But we're 3 days away from playing real major league games to open our season. So there's already a different vibe in our clubhouse where guys are starting to hone their focus, which they have to.
Kirsten?
From my understanding, they will be using the KBO baseball and we'll be using the Major League Baseball. Does that pose any challenges primarily to the hitters or anything like that?
You know what? I don't think so, because for me personally, I don't know the specifics, the specs of that ball versus the Major League Baseball. I know they're certainly different, whether it's the seams, the weight. I don't know if it's more advantageous for the hitters once contact is made. But I think the main thing is that our pitchers get to use something that's familiar to them to continue to prevent injury. So for us, it's baseball. There's going to be something white coming at us, and hopefully we can hit it more than swing and miss. But outside of that, I think it should all be the same.
Okay. Dylan?
Dave, you overlapped with Chan Ho Park in San Diego, right?
I did.
So what do you remember about him, like as a teammate, as a player, and how neat do you think this moment's going to be for him when he throws out that first pitch?
I think it's going to be a very. I think Chan Ho's going to really embrace it. Chan Ho is a very good friend of mine, former teammate, and I think that it's sort of like a culmination for him. I would assume because he was a pioneer as a Korean-born player to come to the States and to be a star player. And then to now have his former teammates and team that he played with come to his homeland, I think it's come full circle. And so it's only fitting that, he throws out the first pitch. I know he played golf with Trevor Hoffman, who's here with the Padres the other day. So he still has ties to people in the States, which is great. But I think for him to get to show off his country, I think is exciting. Really exciting.
We're going to go to you in row two.
Yeah, Jiho Yu from Yonhap News in Korea. Just wanted to ask you about another, Korean player. You had him for a bit, Hyunjin Ryu. Ryu is back in Korea. He's actually pitching today later on the preseason in the KBO. Just wondering if you had a chance to maybe reach out to him after you came to Korea, and if you have plans to maybe just to kind of reconnect with him.
I haven't connected with Hyunjin. I would love to see him. So if he sees this, come hit me up, Hyunjin. I love him, man. I wish I would have been a teammate of his because he's a funny guy. He's a great competitor. And I think it's very cool that he can come back and play in the KBO. I think that's fantastic. I got nothing but great things to say about Hyunjin.
Okay. Anything else for Doc? Okay. Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Right. We'll get started with Doc, who has the first question. We'll start with Juan, and we'll get you the microphone.
Just what you think of the overall atmosphere, obviously playing in this stadium with these fans here.
I thought the stadium itself is in great shape, very up to the standards that we're used to. The environment, atmosphere was great. A lot of energy tonight, certainly on their side. We're not used to having cheerleaders during games, so that was exciting for everyone. And it just seemed like everyone kept their energy up throughout the whole night.
Other questions for Doc?
Hey, Dave, what have you seen from Daniel Hudson the last couple weeks for him to be ready to pitch right now? And how surprising is it that he's at this point with some of the inconsistency he had at the start of camp?
Really not too surprised. I think that obviously Huddy was targeting opening day as far as fine-tuning things. And so it was a typical veteran ramp-up where early on it was pretty forgettable, just kind of trying to get his bearings and arm in shape. And then the last 4 outings have been really good. The command, the life to the fastball, the slider shape. And so it just seemed like every single outing of those last 4, got him ready for, opening day.
Dave, it seemed like Shohei was kind of grabbing his side a little bit for some of the swings. Is he okay?
He's fine. He's fine. He on that one swing, I saw him kind of grab, but nothing from the training staff, nothing from Shohei, and he planned on just taking 2 at-bats tonight, and then tomorrow he'll take 2, potentially 3 tomorrow.
And then I know you guys, as an organization, still kind of view Kyle Hurd as a starter long term, but like when you sort of see what he looks like in these short bursts, does that sort of make you think about what his potential could be as a reliever for you guys?
Well, certainly. I think that, we see him as a starter, obviously with the 3 up and downs that we had tonight. His ability to be a neutral pitcher versus left versus right. But I think that with the construction of our roster, having that swing guy potentially take down middle innings is of value. So that's but also knowing that he can obviously be a starter too.
To your right over here, Dave.
Hi, I'd love to hear more about your team's first impressions of Korean-style cheering. Was it ever distracting?
No, I don't think it was distracting. There's probably a better question for Muncie and Kike over there at third base. But no, I think it's great. I think that the energy, like I said, for 9 innings, they kept it up there. I couldn't follow all the cheers, but it's different, but that was a good thing.
Other questions for Dave? We'll get to Bill.
Yeah, going back to Kyle Hurd, will he be in the bullpen 3 days from now? And then 3 weeks after that, could he open the season in your bullpen?
I think as far as 3 days from now, it's a very good possibility, yes. And, I think after that, we'll make decisions. But nothing is definitive yet. But given the need of the team, his ability to get left and right out, certainly makes a lot of sense.
Other questions for Doc? Go over here.
Thank you, David. You guys have been here for 3 days now. Are you guys all used to the Korean time zone, or are there still players that are not sleeping well, or et cetera?
I think for the most part, we're all adjusted. Some guys were talking about having a little bit of a tougher time sleeping. But at the end of the day, once the game starts, we got to go out there and perform. So none of our guys are going to complain about, lack of sleep or jet lag or anything like that. So we've done everything we can to help us adjust. And I thought tonight was a good sign. And then tomorrow we have a night game, so we'll have plenty of rest for tomorrow night.
Other questions for Dave? Anything else? Am I missing anybody? All right, Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.